Okay, can we start? Are you all ready?
Yeah,
Okay, so the remaining people, let them join meanwhile. Okay, I'm going to start. Yeah, so I'm not turning on my camera. Rather than that, what I'm going to do is I'm sharing my screen. Okay, and I want this session to be a little bit interactive in chat. Okay, can you all access the chat? Can you all send some emojis or something? Some like emojis or some hi or something in your chat box? Hi, Sonam said hi. Maimuna did some thumbs up. Good. Jamshir said hi. Hey, hi. Then Shahadia gives me a thumbs up. Another one. Nasima, put your emoji. Something. Okay, just to make it interactive. Yeah. So, okay, I want all of you just type one bad habits that you are doing right now that you want to break and one good habit that you want to build. Do you have one bad habit right now? Let me turn on my 1 second. Okay, okay. So think deeply. Okay, think deeply and look at your one day, every day. Okay, maybe yesterday, day before yesterday, or maybe this week, the entire day. Do you have any bad habits that you want to break? And if you want, which one is that? And if you break that one habit, you'll get a lot of free time. And which is a good habit that you want to fill that free time that you got? Do you have anything? Do you have anything in your mind? If you have anything, you put it in the chat box. Let me see. So, for example, I'll give you my previous situation. So, just before, I think 1 year ago, what I was doing and now what I'm doing. So, 1 year ago, I was doing a job. Along with that, all of my free time, I was filling with bad habits, and I was not doing any good habits at all. So I'm giving you an example. Okay, the example is I was scrolling a lot, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. I was doing that a lot. So I wanted to break that bad habits. I know if I break that bad habits, then I'll get a lot of time over here. If you see over here, right? So we have a specific time period in a day, 12 hours maybe. Hmm? Let's assume the time that we have in a single day is 12 hours. And we don't want that 12 hours to fill with bad habits. We want our 12 hours to fill with good habits, right? So right now, you are filling, most of us are filling with bad habits and some good habits. I don't know. If you have anything, you can type it. You think deeply, and just type which is the bad habit that you want to break and which is the good habit that you want to build in that time that you get reserved if you break the bad habit. That is what I'm trying to ask. Do you have any? If you have any, just type it in the chat box. Let me see. Maimuna said scrolling YouTube. Okay, YouTube Shorts. Scrolling YouTube Shorts. How did you define? My question is, how did you define whether scrolling in YouTube short. Scrolling YouTube short is actually a bad habit. Why can't it be a good habit also? How can we figure that out? So only Maimuna texted the message. Does don't any of you, any other people in this particular meeting, in this particular training, have any bad habit? Don't you have any bad habit at all? Do you think you're filled with good habits? The entire day of yours, is it filled with good habits completely? Are you not wasting your time? So, how can we define whether a behavior, an action is bad or good? So, I just added bad here, I just added good here. So, how can we define? So, I'm telling you the way you can define whether a behavior is good or bad. So, you think deeply. The time that I'm spending in this particular action, is it somehow helping me to fulfill my short term or long term goal? The action that I'm doing, the time that I'm spending right now, is it somehow helping me to achieve my short term and long term goal? If it is not, it's definitely a bad habit. If it is yes, it can fall into the good habit as well, right? So, scrolling YouTube, if you are scrolling for a reason, and if you're not scrolling because you anyway fall into that trap, then it's a good habit. I repeat, if you're scrolling for a reason, if you're scrolling to search for information, and if you're not, if you haven't fallen into that trap, then it's a good habit. For example, I want to I want to learn something and I want to learn something very fast, some precise crystal capsule level thing. And I don't want to consume long form content in YouTube. It's gonna take a lot more time. What I'm doing is I'm searching in YouTube and I'm getting short term. I'm searching in YouTube the topic that I wanted. And I got some topics and I got some content. That content is very informative and it's short, precise. It is a capsule of that content, and I'm consuming that content for learning things. So you actually typed the subject topic name in the YouTube search bar, and you got the content, and you're watching, and as soon as you watched, as soon as you finished consuming that content, you get out of that loop. And that is a good habit actually. You're learning things from YouTube, short form contents. But if you have a habit of just clicking on or pressing on the YouTube icon and you're anyway automatically going into the YouTube shorts, and if you're scrolling all the way to the bottom and it's in fact it's not going to end it's going to end the short form scrolling, right? If you scroll, if you keep, if you scroll, if you start scrolling, it keeps going and it's not gonna end. And the only way that you are in that loop, you are stuck in that loop is by getting interfered or getting involved, getting stopped by some external affairs, like someone else in my family called me or something. Otherwise, until that moment, you have been scrolling, and that's definitely a bad habit. So now, what I'm going to tell you here is, in our last class, we discussed all these things in terms of habit building, right? And skills is equal to do every day is equal to habit. If you want to be skillful at anything, we need to do that action every single day. And Simply that is habit. And we discussed in a day we can either good fill with bad habits or we can fill with good habits, right? And if you break the bad habits, then only we can fill the good habits in that reserved time. And to break bad habit, we explained that we need to reverse this framework. Any action, we need to make it invisible if you want to break. Okay, basically, let me revise this one. This is habit framework. If you want to build a good habit, okay, if you want to build a good habit, what we need to do, we need to make that action obvious. For example, we explained like if you want to build the habit of reading, we need to take a book and we need to place that book in a position that is very obvious, that is visible, like placing a book on top of our pillow. And if you place a book on top of our pillow, anyway, we are going to our bed every single day to sleep. We will see that book on our pillow and we will read it. That is making it obvious. And how to make it attractive. Even if it is obvious, if it is not attractive, we are not going to do that. We are not gonna do that. And how to make it attractive. So sleeping on time and sleeping is very attractive, right? Everybody likes to sleep on time. And so if you make, if you just stack the activity of habit frame, if you just stack the activity of boring reading book with the attractive sleeping, we are not going to, we are going to do that actually. So just before sleeping, if you decide to read one page every single day, you're most likely to do that activity, right? And even if it is attractive, if it is difficult, we are not going to do that. We need to make it really easy. How to make any unattractive habit or difficult habit easy. So reading book and finishing a book is really hard, right? And we need to just do one page a day. We need to just read one page a day, not 30 page a day, not 30 minutes of reading either. What we need to do, we need to just read one page a day. And how can we actually make it really satisfying if it is not satisfying? So I'll come to that. So for example, if the reading book is not that satisfying, how can we make it actually satisfying? This is tricky. Okay, so basically if you want to build a good habit, we need to do this one. If you want to break one bad habit, we need to reverse this one. We need to make it invisible. So, like scrolling or cigarette addiction or some any other addiction or you name it. Can someone give me some bad habits in our chat box? Are you listening? All of you? Are you listening?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So can you all give me one bad habit that you're struggling with? I want to learn fast everything. That is good habit. That is there is some performance related, Swanam, right? There is some performance related thing. Whatever habit that you currently have, you need to do it faster. That is what you want to do. That is what you are trying to say. That is nothing to do with, or very less to do with habit building and everything. So habit is like bad habit is like you have a bad habit, you tried breaking it and you failed breaking it. Do you have anything like that? Sharika, watching reels continuously. Yes, of course. That is definitely a bad habit. And more people, can you all be little more interactive and try to give me some bad habits that you're struggling? And if you break it, it's gonna change your life because you'll be getting a lot of time free and you can fill that time with really good habit and it's gonna change your life, right? It's going to change your life. No, come on. Come on. In the chat box, think deeply. Look at your daily hours. Are you all okay? Putting fingers in my ear. Okay, that is a bad habit. Okay, Jamshir. Good, good. More. Please, please. Think. Uh, I think remaining all of the remaining people, do you all have really good habit? All of the things that you're doing in a daily basis, is that all really good? For example, if you're going for a job, day job, so you reach your office 9 o'clock and you leave your office in the evening 5 o'clock, let's say. And before 5 o'clock, sorry, before 9 o'clock in the morning, from the time you wake up, what are all activities you are doing? And think deeply. And that time you're spending, are you spending effectively? All of that time that you're spending, is that actually helping you to shape your career, to accomplish your short-term and long-term goal? And think about the evening time from 5 p.m. to the time you go to the bed. All those time frame, the window of time, are you spending effectively and are you spending to fulfill your short-term and long-term goal? That is all that I'm asking. I feel lazy to doing my work. Procrastination. Yeah, procrastination. So in that lazy time, what do you do? So you said that you feel lazy, and in that lazy time, that means you're not doing that work, right? And if you're not doing that work, that time, do you have that time? In that time, what do you do? That is the bad habit. Maybe overthinking, maybe just watching reels, or you just lay down your bed thinking something, or what do you do in that lazy time? And more bad habits. Yeah, let it come outside of your mind and brain. I want to avoid tea in my evening, but I can't. Okay, is that a bad habit? Everybody drink tea in our evening, right? Okay, if you think that is a bad habit, we can actually try to break. Okay. Okay, more. I think how many members are the 9 members? Sharika, Shihabuddin, Shihab. Don't you have any bad habit? Nasima, Maimuna, Jamshir, Galaxy, Fatima Shahadia. Okay, yeah. So I spend most of my time unproductive. When I sit to study something, I can't study for a long time. I couldn't complete my target. Okay. I spend most of my time I'm unproductive. So this is Sharika, this is something to do with productivity, not habit. Okay, you already have a habit of sitting there and studying, but you're not productive. So this is something to do with productivity. So productivity is next stage. The first stage is building good habit, right? And if you're not sitting at all in a daily basis, that is what we are going to fix right now. That is the base of it. Nasima, I want to cut my sugar craving. Okay. Okay. That is some bad habit. You're taking too much sugary thing in a daily basis. Jamshir, I want some time for boring. How can I achieve it? I want some time for boring. How can I achieve it? You want to be bored? Okay. Okay, you want to be bored. That means you're all of the time you're feeling excited and all doing work. Boredom is good thing. Okay. Okay. Okay, anyway, I have a lot of replays here. It's you all of you who posted something over here try to relate what I'm trying to say. Okay. I'm trying to explain the overthinking, Sharika. Yeah, overthinking is a bad habit, right? Yes. So let me try to break down. So whatever bad habit you have, I'm just trying to explain this habit, bad habit breaking framework. and you can try to relate. You can try to understand whether it's going to work for you. Okay, make it obvious. Make it invisible. Okay, so I'm taking some of the bad habits that scrolling YouTube. Okay, we already discussed scrolling YouTube. How can we break the scrolling YouTube bad habit? And hmm, putting my finger in my ear, right? That is a bad habit. How can we make that particular bad habit? By reversing this one, make it obvious, make it make it invisible. That means you shouldn't be reminded of that activity. So what is the cue there? So putting fingers in my ear, what is the cue there? Cue is a itchy feeling in your ear. So we need to get rid of that itchy feeling. So or we shouldn't be get reminded of that itchy feeling. Jamshid, what you do is you just think you shouldn't be get reminded of that one thing. Can you try to think about that at the end of this session, right? You give me some thing that you can do to forget about that completely. You shouldn't be reminded of that, and make it attractive. You need to make it unattractive. So for example, if you're watching reels or something, so consume a lot of content explaining disadvantage of social media, make the social media content consumption unattractive, very unattractive. And for example, so Jamshid, putting your fingers in your ear, how can you make it unattractive? By applying the same method, you need to learn a lot about the bad outcome, bad results that you possibly experience if you keep doing that. You keep you keep educate yourself. That is what this make it unattractive. If you consume a lot of content explaining the bad outcome that you going to achieve if you do this particular bad habit, so make it difficult. Okay, so you have a habit of putting fingers in your ear. How can you make it really difficult? So in my case, cancel in the case of social media, cancel auto sign in, manually sign in to get into the social media. Those who have attended our last session, you understood this one, right? So we need to make a delay or effort friction. We need to simply add a friction between the time we get reminded and the action. For example, so you got a itchy feeling in your ear and you get reminded of that, Jamshir, and you are putting your fingers into your ear without any effort, without any considerable effort. The only effort and only the time that you're going to take is just half a second or 1 second or something. Within 1 second, your finger can reach your ear, and without any considerable effort, you can reach and you can put your fingers in your ear. And that is actually very easy. And I don't have any specific solution right now coming into your mind to increase the friction between that activity. Okay, we will brainstorm that and make it unsatisfying. So here, when you put your fingers in your ear, you're getting a lot of satisfaction, right? At the end, yeah, that wow feeling at the end, the relaxed, the itching feeling will go off, right? And you feel relaxed after that. And so, what you can do to make it unsatisfying, that particular activity. So, even if you do that activity, you feel like discomfort. You feel like discomfort. Do you are you getting anything in your mind? So, let me put that. Let me duplicate this one. Okay. So the cue here is What is the cue here? Itchy, itchy. What is the spelling? Itchy feeling in our ear. Make it unattractive. So it's attractive because uh, you're getting a lot of satisfaction. The thinking about the satisfaction that you are getting after putting your finger, right? So it's very easy. It is just a matter of you using your finger in your ear or something. It is just a matter of using your finger and put it in your ear, right? Finger and put it in your ear and make it satisfying. So it's very satisfactory, right? The feeling after putting the fingers in your ear, it is satisfying. So the the only thing I can give direct advice is thinking about satisfaction. So if you're thinking about this satisfaction, it's very attractive. You're actually thinking about the satisfaction, so it'll automatically make it attractive. So what you can do here is like consume lot of content, consume lot of content, consume lot of content. Okay, lot of content. And itchy feeling in your ear. How can we actually reduce this cue, that feeling? So we need to get rid of that feeling. Yeah. So this particular thing, we need to work on it. Okay. So how can we really reduce the feeling of itchiness in our ear? So make it difficult. So it is just a matter of using your finger and put it in your ear. What about closing your ear with a earbud or something or some puffy material? So even if you try to even if you try to put your finger in your ear, now have you heard about the ear protector, like a headphone or something we put over our ear? If you put that, we are we can't actually put our finger into our ear, so it's like adding friction between the activity. Friction. So if you just cover your ear with ear protector, it's going to help you a lot in terms of adding friction between the the point at which you got the feeling and to the point where you put your finger into the ear. So this is adding friction and satisfaction. So if you keep think about this bad result that you're getting from the action, you will feel less satisfied actually. So that is one thing. So basically, let me actually go to the good habit now. So Jamshir, you got some idea, right? How we can actually break the bad habit of putting your ears in your finger. So these two things is actually workable. Thinking, consuming a lot of content that will make it unattractive, and putting a ear protector on your ear that will add friction between the activity. So these two will make you or help you to break that bad habit. And even so, we already explained in detail in our last session about how we can break the bad habit of watching reels. Let me quickly go to that. So hide the icon of social media or change the location. This means simply we are making it invisible. If you make the icon invisible, we can actually break the habit, make it unattractive. Consume a lot of content explaining disadvantages of social media will make it unattractive, make it difficult. So the if you click or touch the icon, it's very easy to get into the reels and shorts, right? And if you cancel the auto sign in, if you manually sign into the YouTube or Instagram by typing your email address or whatever, you are adding friction over there. Just introducing that friction itself will help you enormously to break that bad habit and make it unsatisfying. Turn off the volume. So, if you consume social media content, if you just turn off the volume of that content fully, and if you just looking at the visual part of it, and you will feel less satisfaction, even if you end up watching that content. So, this single framework will help you break the social media addiction. And let's now look into what is the time now? So 6:35. I'll take couple of minutes and I'll give you a small hits in this one. Okay. I'll give you small intro to this habit tracker. So let's think. Can you all can you all type about a really good habit, but that is boring? You are less motivated to do. Can you all give me couple of example? So can you all give me some couple of example? Studying for competitive exam. Good, perfect, perfect. Then next one. Next one, Sharika. That is a perfect example that we can discuss here. So any other good habit that you want, but it's little hard. Reading book, studying grammar. Okay, okay. Reading book, studying grammar. Then next, more. Be positive. Okay. Be positive. Be positive. Yes. So the overthinking, overthinking bad habit or negative thoughts coming into your mind, and you want to change that to positive things, right? So I'm be positive. Okay, that is a good habit. Reading book. As Sima saying, reading book. Be positive. So exercise. Okay. Next, good habit, but it's kind of difficult and it's kind of boring, right? So, Sonam, the only one good habit that I find hard explaining is be positive, Sonam. So, be positive means need to, so the doubts and everything that creeps in our brain, and whether I can do it or not, or am I doing good, and so all those feeling will make us negative. And there are some good habits to break that. So if you if you balance our thoughts and the action, we can actually be positive. So thoughts, lot of thoughts. This is I'm explaining directly to the Sonam's difficult be positive thing. Okay. So if we balance our thoughts and action, we can be really positive. For example, if you're thinking a lot and we are not doing any action, that means we are just processing the information that we acquired in our brain. And if you're thinking a lot, and if you are doing a lot the same way, we are in a balance. And if we keep that balance, we will be really positive. One of the best habit that we can achieve that is journaling. Journaling is like writing down our thoughts in a paper. or something. Daily, if you build a habit of journaling, you can actually be positive, actually. So you can actually brainstorm. A lot of ideas are clearer or will be clearer if you journal. Okay. So basically, journaling is a good habit. Now, Sonam can think about that. And Nasima, reading is a good habit. Jamshir, exercise is a good habit. Shiavuddin, reading book is a good habit. Studying grammar is good habit. And Sharika, studying for competitive exam is really good habit. And all this good habit, it may not be attractive, and you may not feel like doing that activity. And if at all you do that, you may not feel like satisfying, right? You may not feel satisfaction after that. And how can we actually do that? So here there is a single framework. Okay, I already explained that reading book perspective. Let me quickly go through that, and let me go through this competitive exam thing. Okay, so reading book, make it obvious, place a book on the pillow, make it attractive, multiple benefits. Okay, think about multiple benefit. Reading book, if you reading book at this time, we are over pronouncing, that means we are getting two benefit if you put single time. I repeat, if you read book and if you read out loud, we are improving our communication skill, as well as we are getting a lot of information, good information. So if we are thinking about multiple benefit for the investment of our time, if we are thinking multiple benefits for the investment of our time, it's going to be attractive, and we are going to do that. Or along with sleeping, that is very attractive. If you stack reading book, it's going to be attractive. Make it easy, read a page, not lot of page. Make it satisfying, habit tracker. Okay, habit tracker. So I want to focus on this habit tracker now. The reason why I'm focusing on habit tracker is it worked for me. It is going to work for everyone. It's evidence based. The world famous book Atomic Habits explaining this particular thing to build a habit. And this is my habit tracker. This is physical. This is also physical. Couple of months, and this is digital. Okay. So today I don't have time to explain to finish explaining everything about habit tracker, but I'll give you a small intro. And what is habit tracker? So we take this habit tracker sheet. This is downloadable from atomichabits.com website, and you take a printout. And what you do is we are going to build a habit that is really unattractive and less satisfying. Okay, for example, studying for competitive examination, or reading a book, or doing journaling every single day. Okay, so let's say I need to build a habit. What we need to do is simply print out this habit tracker, and this is month 1, 2, 3, 4, the days in a month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 31st. See, 31st. And there is a corresponding columns. This is rows. Okay, this is rows, this is columns. In this column, the days are mentioned in the header, on the header. Okay, days are mentioned. In the left, we can see the habits. For example, learn Arabic, recite Quran, meditation, speech practice, recording, typing, reading. So typing, reading, all these are good habits, but it's less satisfying. What we can do over here, so we can just think about your desired habit that is less satisfying. You just add that over here, one by one. And whenever you do that habit in a single day, you just cross it. Before that, what the first step is, you print out this one, and you write these habits in the row. Okay, and you paste this habit in a visible place. For example, think about a location or a place inside your house you visit every single day. Okay, like bedroom, or your office room, or your kitchen, or any place you visit every single day. Don't paste this habit tracker on a place you don't visit very often. For example, you don't visit your living or your balcony upstairs. Okay. You don't visit your balcony upstairs every single day. And don't paste this habit tracker in your balcony. There's no point pasting there because you're not going to do that habit if you are pasting in a invisible location. So the first step is purchase and write this down and paste this particular habit tracker on a place you visit every single day. So if you see that habit tracker and you get reminded of that activity, make it obvious. You will get reminded of that habit. For example, I want to study for competitive examination. So study physics or study for competitive examination. That is the habit. Okay. You write that habit uh, in your first row and you take your book and place it in a location that is visible. That is another make it obvious thing. And you paste this habit tracker on your door or your bedroom's door, behind your bedroom door or something, where your eyes goes every single day. Okay. And you whenever you do this one, you just mark this one. You just cross it like this one. If you see this one, when I started, I only break this habit, typing habit, only single day. Oh, for one day I break this one. And I did every single day in that month. So when you cross this one, two things happens. So when you see the habit tracker, you're making it obvious. Okay. And when you when you cross this one, you feel satisfaction. You feel satisfaction. So the reason why you're getting satisfaction when you cross it, the progress motivates us. So if I'm feeling like, okay, I'm progressing every single day, I'm crossing, that gives us satisfaction. So even if it is very attractive, if you feel like if you're aware that you're progressing, that gives you a big deal of satisfaction in the end. So that is why the habit tracker is so powerful. So imagine when I reach 29th day, when I see this habit tracker every single day, I can see that I'm progressing every single day I did. And you can reflect, you can be aware about these particular habits making an impact in your life. And that motivates you and that keeps doing, that drives you doing that activity, that action. And that is why if you just cross it, two things happens. You feel satisfied. You feel satisfied actually. You feel satisfied. And for that reason, you or doing this activity is actually attractive. Crossing this particular habit, crossing this particular cell in your habit tracker sheet is going to be very attractive for that reason. So the proof that this works for any unsatisfying habit is this one itself, my sheet itself. You see, there are a lot of things over here I did, and here you see, this is the month previous that. Okay, this is a month previous that there are a lot of breakage, and we can analyze it. And I'm stopping here. I'm stopping here. Time is too late. We will continue this one habit tracker thing in our next training program. Now, what I want all of you is, if you have any question regarding your habit or something, you can ask. You can put it in your chat box, or you can actually ask live. Any question? So this framework can apply journaling or any other habit. Any question? This is Q&A session now. This is Q&A session. Any questions you have, you can either speak or put it in. Now you can speak, unmute and speak.
Morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever I try to make a habit as part of my life, I felt like I cannot continue it for a long time. I will start it, but I cannot continue that thing for a long time. What
Uh,
can I do for that?
Okay, so what is the reason why you're not continuing? If is it you're not getting reminded of it? Is that the reason, or is it
That is
very?
one main reason behind it.
Hmm.
And also I will lose interest on it.
Oh, okay. You will lose interest. That
Ah,
means you're not getting any satisfaction doing that activity.
oh, yes.
Okay. So you're doing some action, you're not satisfied. You're not getting satisfaction. Without getting satisfaction, you will not repeat.
Ah,
Okay. Satisfaction is to repeat. For a person who is playing football, so when he score, the other people cheers, right?
yeah.
That cheering or okay, good man, you scored a good goal, you scored two goals today, and and the agility you have, some people say that, okay, that is a
Ah,
reward, that is a reward. So if you are not getting reward, we are not going to repeat that.
yes.
So the habit that you are building, you make it satisfying.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are ending up, so let's say you are studying for 3 hours a day.
Mm.
At the end of the 3 hours a day, 3 hours, you put a lot of effort, and at the end you feel drained. Okay. And
Mm.
I learned 3 hours continuously, and I feel terrible. I'm exhausted. And if you're doing that, you're not going to repeat. Rather, even before you're getting exhausted, you stop it in a satisfying level.
Okay.
You stop at the time or at a particular duration where you feel really satisfied. Okay.
Mm.
So I learned a really good concept. You will get a wow moment. Okay. This was really tough subject that I was learning, and I got this one, and you put reasonably good effort over there, and you feel very satisfied. Stop there. Or if you feel boring, right, you stop right there. And
Okay.
if you finish that activity in a boring and exhausted way, and you're not going to repeat.
Mm.
And that is a reality, so make it satisfying.
Mm.
Yeah, so you can relate, you can try out. The only way you can work out is by yourself. You think about deeply, how can I make it satisfying?
That's right. Okay.
If you're not satisfying, either you put a reward. So if you the reward is actually this habit tracker will help you. So
Ah,
if you just cross mark it, that means okay, I did it for the specific time, and you make it easy also. So at the starting of the time habit, right, don't put yourself, okay, I'm going to study for 1 hour every single day, and you feel exhausted, and you're not going to repeat it. Put like, I'm going to learn. If you're starting the habit, okay, if you're starting the
ah,
habit, uh, tell yourself, okay, I'm going to put 10 minutes or
ah,
20 minutes. That is absolutely doable. And if
mm.
you do that one, I'll not be exhausted. I'll not
Oh,
be exhausted.
okay.
And if you're not going to feel exhausted anyway, you will end up satisfying.
Ah,
Yeah. Any other
ah,
question?
right.
So make it obvious and
Mm.
make it satisfying. Any other question? Good
Okay.
question, Sharika. Good question, relevant
Okay.
question.
Thank you.
It will help others also.
Ah,
Jamsher, Sonam,
Uh,
Shahadia. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I want to ask only 1 hour. I have to speak from here only. Then, after full day, how we will do talk because no one is talking, and 1 hour only if we are listening or we are talking. Only 1 month. After few, if we are joining here, it's okay. If sometime we will leave this platform, otherwise we want to do something extra. That sorry. Then how we will continue because only 1 hour. After full day, we are not talking like that because no one is there. So after more efficiency, we want to show how what we will do.
So the question is, so okay, 1 hour we are spending here, right? And if you want to spend a lot of, okay, to build mastery, to make something, to learn things, we need to put a lot of effort, a lot of time spending, right? And we are just spending 1 hour here, and in that 1 hour we'll get very less time to speak, right? Is that the
Mm.
problem, right?
This see, I'm understanding because not about me. Everyone is want to practice. So 1 hour less, you also are busy, I know. But any another option because we are doing here is good only. At least we are doing something. We are better than others because those are not doing. And morning effort, so it's good. Really, we
Yeah,
want to learn something. And
yeah, yeah.
3 days, today is my third day. Then I understood grammar. My most focus are those are speaking here. My always focus will be the grammar.
Mm.
So that is good. I feel a lot for good. But I want to speak more, but no one is there. Even
Yeah.
if I'm trying one thing more, I'm struggling. If I'm trying to speak, those are not better than me. So they are
Mm.
not talking to me. That's the reason. And those are better than me, then only it will work.
Not exactly. So, basically, the learning happens with two ways. One way is you're talking to someone better than you, and that someone better will correct you and give suggestion. That is one way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I want this thing actually. Because
So,
see, who's better than me, then only it will work for me.
yes, yeah, yeah. So, I'll give you some solution, couple of solutions. Okay, we are
Okay,
going to end sooner. This is the last question. Okay, no,
ah,
no more questions.
okay.
So, three ways of learning. One way is you need to talk or you need to spend time with someone better than you. Basically, in other terms, you need to take training from someone, right? Some mentor or
Mm.
something. And
Yes.
so, one way to do that, you can move to a place where there are a lot of people who are better than you, and in that environment they only speak the language that you want to improve. For example, you move to UK or something,
Mm.
automatically you will get better because you'll be imitating them, and they'll be correcting, the society will correct you. Okay. and
Yes.
and most of the time in this situation you don't have that community around you. You don't have that mass amount of people around you that is correcting you.
Yes.
And in that situation, either you need to take training from a mentor who is better than you,
Yes.
or you need to self-learn, or you need to listen carefully and you need to copy. Okay,
Ah,
these three things. Either you need to take training, or you need to listen carefully to someone who is better than you, and you need to copy. You need to deliberately put the effort, copying and imitating very carefully that person. That is self-learning. You're observing and learning. That is how kids learn. Kids learn
yes.
that way. Kids keeps observing. They produce the same sound they are listening to, and they keep, even if no one there to correct that kid, he will slowly learn from that copying and imitating thing. Other thing is we just put an extra effort learning deliberately. So we take some proper YouTube content, and we practice anyway. Even if you don't have any partner, even if you don't have any trainer, you self-learn things. The self-learning thing is shadowing. That is one thing. Another, self-talk, self-emotional talk, camera talk. And if you simply start a YouTube channel in English language, you'll automatically learn all those things because the society will not accept you are not speaking properly, and if you are not uh, communicating properly, society will not accept. So these are the only way you can move to a place where all of the people are speaking the language that you want. All of the people are better than you. For example, UK, you move to UK and you will be better. Or you take training, deliberate training. The trainer will help you in person,
Mm.
and or you self learn.
Okay, sir.
Self learning part is copying, imitating, and shadowing, or whatever exercise that we can do.
But sir, if we are listening to someone else, so it will come very fast to our mind because it will become a situation. But now we are making situations, so sometime I will forget the word. Now you are speaking, so some new words I'm getting, I'm using. because full concentration I'm giving. But if I'm reading, if I'm learning something, so I will, most of time I will forget. I have to remember, and this is not a good way. It's like book. If I remembering, definitely I will forget. That is happening to me. So I'm now nowadays what I'm doing, I'm taking any one situation, I'm trying to do. Otherwise, if I want to remember, it will not come in my mind. That is the reason.
Yeah, that is all about memory. There is a different
Ah,
session, different training. We can talk about memory in our
okay.
next session. Okay,
Okay.
how
Okay.
how can increase our memory or something? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I think we are very late. We are stopping here. Okay.
Okay.
All of you can put your feedback voice in our group. Okay. So feedback is good. Hmm? Feedback is actually help others also in our group who haven't joined to get an idea, right? And please give a feedback voice in our group. It's going to help. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, bye bye. Let's meet next Saturday with an awesome training. Next Saturday, Jamshir is going to train. Yeah, bye bye.